How are we going to start this one off? Let's do it. Happy Halloween.
Ooh.
Welcome back, podcastians. The podcast killed the radio star.
Radio star? Shit. Do we both
say... I said video star.
I said radio.
Come on.
I mess it up sometimes, you know? Even when I'm telling people, it's like, oh, it's called Podcast Killed the Radio Star. And they're like, oh.
Like, oh, that?
I mean, which is true.
Yeah.
That's a true statement.
But I think the natural evolution of things goes from radio to video to podcast. And then after that, who knows?
Who knows? So, yeah, I'm your host, your co-host, excuse me. I co-host this with this man sitting next to me. I'm your host, Collin Black.
And I am your other host, Seth Garrett. We got a really fun and exciting episode, I think.
Yes, we do. This is probably one of the most requested. I don't. It's not one of the most requested, but it's Halloween right now. As of this recording, it's Halloween.
Yes, we are recording this on Halloween, but it's going to come out before Halloween,
right?
Because we're that fucking good.
We time traveled forward so we can go back in time to then upload it. It makes a lot of sense.
Once you think about it, it makes sense.
So what costume are you rocking for the video audience?
Oh yeah, today we decided to dress up a little bit. I am rocking serial killer. So I have random bags of cereal on me that I stabbed with plastic knives. I didn't want to use real knives because I was afraid I was going to cut myself.
Well, that's good. Safety first. Safety first.
And I super glued them. Super glued the knives in so that I definitely didn't poke myself.
So serial killer, right?
Serial killer
for the listeners, serial is a play on of cereal.
It's CEREAL.
Yes, killer.
Yeah.
So you're killing cereal, not a serial killer, a killer who does things serialized.
Yeah.
A serialized killer.
I never understood serial killer as in the actual meaning of it, not like serial killer, because I didn't understand that it meant sequential or they do it in a certain
serialized order. Yeah.
When I was younger, I genuinely thought that it was serial. I didn't know there were two separate words for it.
I guess they killed them all while they were eating cereal.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
But that would be an actual serial killer. He only killed people while they were eating cereal.
That's true.
Wow.
Wow. Now,
now what are you today?
I have half my costume on. Actually, I have a quarter of it on. I have my jacket. I'm Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors.
What a great movie.
Fantastic movie. One of my all-time favorites. If you're on Letterboxd, you can see that it's one of my favorites. It's my top 4. Yeah. It's my top 4.
Huh.
Yeah, you didn't know that about me?
I would have never known that, yeah.
What did you think my favorite movie was? You'd probably be like, his favorite movie
Little Shop of Horrors.
His favorite movie is probably Godfather.
Godfather 2, not
Pulp
Godfather.
Fiction. Pulp Fiction. It's all the film bro, main top 100.
No, I wouldn't have said that.
Dark Knight.
I don't think...
Those movies are good, but they're not my top 5. Well, top 5.
I don't think I would have put Little Shop of Horrors in yours. Okay, but what are your other top 5?
4. My top 4, I believe, it always changes around. I don't keep the same 4 all the time, but right now I can actually check, so I'm not going to give inaccurate information to our lovely audience,
just in case they go and fact check you on it.
Yeah. So Little Shop of Horrors is first. The Thing by John Carpenter is next.
Okay.
Which is a really good movie. Walk Hard from
the Dewey Finn story.
The Dewey Cox story.
Dewey Cox story. Sorry.
Yeah, oh my God, Dewey Finn. Well, who's Dewey Finn?
School of Rock.
Oh. And then the fourth one is Hot Rod. So 2 comedies actually 3 comedies. The Little Shop of Horrors is a comedy.
Yeah.
And The Thing. I did have Army of Darkness on there a while ago, but then I realized I've only seen it once, and I put it on as my top 4 after I saw it the one time because I loved it so much. But I'm gonna rewatch it soon,
See if it like the age lived up to it.
and then I'll put it back. I'll probably replace it with either Walk Hard or Hot Rod.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That makes sense.
what are your favorite movies? Because like
Well-
favorite movies is hard to say because like those are like some of my favorite movies, but I wouldn't even say that those are the like they're some of my like the Truman Show is also one of my favorites.
Well, what's weird with yours is still semi Halloween themed.
It's true. I love Halloween. I do love Halloween.
So I mean, I guess if we're gonna go with just regular like top 4 movies,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I love that movie. I love the
I
vibe.
love that whole movie from beginning to end.
It just feels good.
The first movie I ever watched that I was like, wow, that's what's a good movie.
Yeah, that's it. That yeah.
You know what I
agree.
mean?
Yeah.
So One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'm gonna be a little bit bro movie, as you would say right now.
Is it
But-
Fight Club?
No. It's Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh no, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I fucking hate bros because they'll pick like a movie that's good and then they'll make it annoying to like it because they're like, no, you don't even understand how good it is. Like,
Yeah.
like I like this movie because it's so good. Like, and you don't really like movies, and I'm better than you. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, just stop ruining other things for people.
But I think that's what
Like
Everything
Fight Club.
Everywhere All at Once does, is it takes anyone can understand that movie. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you can go into that movie and everyone gets what that movie was trying to say. It doesn't matter if you're a film connoisseur or if it's your first movie you've ever seen, like anyone can relate to that and understand it.
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful, beautiful movie.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably in my like after seeing it, it's probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh yeah.
I saw it in theaters like 3 times.
Yeah.
Which is rare for me. I like as a film person, people would assume that I see a lot of movies twice in a theater. I usually never see a movie twice in a theater.
Yeah, I try not to either.
3 times is insane. You know?
Yeah. But that's that movie, like I want to get it on Blu-ray. I want to have like the script book that like A24 will eventually release.
Yeah.
Like that movie's phenomenal.
Yeah, it has that it's funny, it's action packed, it's sci-fi, it's everything I love.
Makes you cry.
Makes you cry. It has everything you need in a story, and it was done. It's just done with so much heart, and I don't know. It's just good.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Thriller today.
Yeah. We haven't even brought up the
We're doing Thriller, the greatest movie / music video ever made.
Yeah, it's actually quite well. It's known universally as the most famous
yeah.
music video of all time.
Most famous music video. It's 13 minutes long too. Like
Well,
it's a
there's
short,
the short
film.
version, but there's also the film version.
Yeah, well, let's look how many views that has.
I think that it has 6.2 million. That's for
No, that's likes.
Oh, that's likes. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has
Oh God.
852 million.
Yeah, for a 13
counting.
Yeah, 13 million. And I bet it gets more views every Halloween.
Oh,
Was this
yeah.
intended to be a Halloween banger?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
It had to be, right?
There's no way that you release this in like February and it does great.
Reset it during Christmas. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. But this is regarded as probably one of the most famous and probably one of the most beloved. Like even rewatching it, I was like smiling through like.
Well, we were dancing to it.
Yeah, I knew every word.
Mhm.
The nostalgia of it, like listening to it, and the music is just so good. You know, it's just like one of those things where you have to kind of just go, yeah, it's one of the best.
Yeah.
It
doesn't matter who you are either. Like, it doesn't matter if you hate Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
This is still one of the best music videos of all time.
It's odd because both the director and Michael Jackson are both two people who are kind of problematic.
Yeah.
But the thing that they made was really good and beloved. And it's kind of like that thing where you have to separate the art from the artist. But we'll get into that here after.
Yeah.
Right? So
We're going to do like a quick little description of the music video, even though I am 99.9% sure that every single person listening to this has watched this multiple times.
yeah, it knows exactly what happens in it.
Yeah.
So as it starts off in basically a movie within a movie, right? It's
Yeah.
a 1950s scene where, you know, that classic thing where their car breaks down, they walk,
It's the jock and the cheerleader probably, or, you know.
and they're walking on the side of the road in the cold, the cold, I don't know, at night, and
He's got his varsity jacket on,
and he says to the girl, like, "Hey, I want you to be my girl."
and he gives her a ring.
And so they're married now.
Yeah.
I actually was like confused because apparently back in the 1950s, people just gave people promise rings, and it's like that's how you knew somebody was
Well, it's
taken.
like saying, like, yeah, hey, this person is who I'm with.
Yeah, and I just thought I thought promise rings were like something that you did as like a child. I don't know. It just like just a fad that went away.
No, it was a very serious thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think that my grandma got a promise ring when she was younger. Not from someone she ended up with, but like,
That promise wasn't very strong.
but like,
Well, was it a way for men to like have sex with women without feeling bad because they're like, well, we're gonna be married anyway.
no, I don't. I mean, I'm sure they were fucking back then.
Yeah.
But it was a way of showing that you were more serious towards that person.
Yeah.
Like, we don't really have, like, nowadays, you can be, like, you know, very serious with someone, as both you and I are, but I don't think I've ever gotten Melee a promise ring or something like that. I've actually been kind of afraid.
You don't think it?
No, like, I mean, I think I've, like, bought her a ring before, like, that she's been like, oh, this looks cute.
Mm-hmm.
But, like,
I got Aaron a ring pop once.
that's pretty serious.
Yeah. I mean,
Was it blue raspberry?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, promise rings are an odd thing. But he then, after giving the promise ring, and I kind of laughed at this. I forgot about this. He gave the ring, and she's like, "Oh yes, I'll be a girl." And then he goes, "I gotta tell you something."
Just instantly, as soon as she gives it, he's like, "Okay, I gotta get this off my chest."
Now that you're my girl,
and then boom,
he turns into
he's a werewolf.
Yeah, the clouds, the classic thing where the clouds like go,
they
spread apart,
disperse.
and the full moon pops up, and he turns into a werewolf in amazing makeup, and he pops up and he starts chasing her, and she's screaming,
Yeah.
scream queening everywhere, and then it cuts out to a theater of
And
everyone like horrified.
But they're in the theater watching this happen. The
Yeah.
same two people that were in the movie.
Yes, are now in the theater, presumably a different person.
Yeah,
Two different people. They're not, or maybe they're actors.
possibly. Yeah, that could have been their premiere, and she was afraid of her own
acting.
acting.
Can we get out of here? And my favorite part about this is like the whole audience is like going, oh, you know, like that AMC guy.
Yeah,
The AMC guy who's eating the popcorn.
Like
He's
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Kidman.
we should do a whole review just off of her.
We come here to love. Heartbreak seems like a place here. We get
This movie really feels like a movie.
Harry Styles, 2022.
Yeah,
What year are we in?
that's the year we're in.
Oh, good. And I just love how Michael Jackson's face is like he's like smiling like maniacally. He's like,
And he's like going in
and
on
he's
that popcorn.
eating the popcorn. He's got the whitest teeth you've ever seen in your
Yeah.
life. Going, and everyone's like, oh,
Yeah,
like,
everyone else is terrified, but he's having a good time.
he likes that.
Yeah.
He's a sick fuck.
okay. But they end up leaving, and they're walking down a dark alley,
Mm-hmm.
and
The
turns out
song starts.
that's when
finally.
the song starts. Before this, it was all dialogue and like narration.
Yeah, it's like a short film.
Yeah. And then this is where the song Thriller actually starts.
Sure.
And I just now noticed this for the movie aspect of it. They put the three verses of the song together back to back to back in the movie instead of the like actual way the song is like released. 'Cause
Really?
I believe that like if you go listen to it on Spotify or anything else, it'll be verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, because that's how it works. But in this one, you go verse 1, verse 2, verse 3, because it tells the story that Michael Jackson is telling, and then he turns into a zombie.
Maybe that's why everybody fucks up. Like whenever you're singing like the song, you you even did it when we were watching it. You went in with "This Is Thriller."
Yeah.
You messed up because like it kept going, and I was like, oh, and I made fun of
Yeah.
you.
But
I called
in
you
the-
a little bitch.
But in the short film version, this 13-minute version, they do that on purpose because it tells the story better.
Yeah. And then after like he sings the 3 verses, it kind of goes into this little interlude where like the music's like dun dun dun, dun, dun.
It's a drum break essentially.
And then Vincent Price, the famous the late great Vincent Price, you know, with that classic horror voice he has.
Oh
like,
yeah.
He says his monologue, and I forget what it's like, the dove with every ghoul.
Yeah.
And as he's saying that, zombies or the undead are climbing out of a grave.
Graves, yeah. Which that is the quintessential zombie to me. They're the new modern age zombies are these zombies that are like that you just get it because a science experiment gone wrong, and
Or
then-
like, I got COVID.
Yeah.
Now I'm a zombie.
exactly.
It's not as cool as somebody literally. That's scary. Like a fucking like your grandma. Imagine your grandma climbing out of the grave and
Yeah.
trying to kill you.
Well, that's one thing I really like about this video is that at one point Vincent says something about the 40,000 years of funk that you smell.
Which is funny because it's a play on, you know,
The funk of
the song.
but also the funk of the undead.
You can smell the formaldehyde, you know,
Yeah.
when he says that, you know, it just like has that smell to it, you know, and you're like, ugh. But
Speaking of that, we have some puking to talk about in this episode.
we do. There's so many good little things we can talk about.
Why are I don't think we've noticed until just now like how much this music video actually pertains to like different aspects of life, because like not only is this a song that like we have known since we were little, but it has continuously showed up in life throughout our whole life so far.
Yeah, and
20, 26, 25 years later.
I think the first musical that our school did after years of not doing it was Thriller. Yeah. They did like a Thriller musical.
Well, we did for marching band, we did a whole Michael Jackson show, but it was during our Halloween time, I believe. So our last song that we did was Thriller, and we had the like big drum break and a big dance battle in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, well,
Did you do the dance?
Yeah, well, I was a drummer, so I was playing.
You couldn't dance.
Yeah. But we were that type of band. Every single show that we did, we had at least one drum break in our band dance.
Of course.
We were a show band.
Everybody loves that part of, I think that's what everyone, like our band, the most famous band of the land, the 110.
Oh yeah.
Which our cameraman Joey was actually a part of as a trumpeter. But trumpeter, excuse me. But they would always like have the drum break and then have the seniors or whoever or everyone, I don't remember, like do like a little, little dance moves, and and that's the part that people like.
Well, I mean,
that's the part that people, go woo.
At OU, people would go to the football games and then would leave after halftime because the band was still
Yeah, which is funny. I mean, it's like people. I just recently watched Drumline.
Oh,
it's a good movie.
I love that movie.
It's funny because now that I watch it and I'm like more of an adult, I'm like, why did they treat it that seriously?
You would be, I don't know.
Like they were treating it like fucking war. I don't know.
It was war, all right. You weren't there.
All
you
right.
wouldn't know.
I did quit high school band after sophomore year.
Wait, what did you play?
Played the saxophone.
You're such a saxophone player.
Well, it sucks now that whenever I say guess what it was, everyone says tuba. And I'm like, you fucking it's because I'm a large guy.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, you're just a tuba player. You just called me fat, you fucking asshole. That's what you just did. Like, you didn't say it to my face, but you called me a fat fucker who has no life, and I hate you. That's what you said.
For the people who don't know me, they never assume drums first. They always say something like
saxophone.
No, not saxophone. It's like trombone. I had someone tell me I was a fucking piccolo one time, and I was like, that's the most disgraceful thing you could have ever said to me.
I think all of the trombone players in my high school are now like
Drug addicts.
drug addicts or abusers. Like
Or both.
Yeah, or both. Yeah, truthfully. So if anybody calls me, nobody's ever called me a trombone player. I don't think I give off trombone energy.
No.
But I do apparently give off tuba energy. It's just like when anybody's like, "Oh, you look like this blank actor," and it's just glasses and fat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "All right,
So fucking stupid.
yeah, thank you."
Same with me, but with Asian.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
kidding. I don't get that.
oh, you look exactly like Simu Limu. You, oh my god,
Did
dude.
you say Simu Limu?
Simu Limu.
Goodness
Lemur
fucking
Simu.
gracious.
Simu Lemur. You look exactly like the Shang Chai. Shang Chai and the 13 Rings. I'm just trying to get. I'm just
really trying to piss off
all of our Marvel fans, like going like, "You son of a bitch! I'm gonna fucking kill you, you stupid bitch."
Okay.
Sorry.
So they go into the drum breakdown, and the zombies start coming up because of the narration, and then we get to the chorus finally, and now Michael Jackson is a zombie himself. So in one short film, he goes from being a werewolf, a human, and a zombie.
Back to a human.
Yeah, back to a human.
Then back to a zombie.
No, werewolf.
No, back to a zombie. Then back to a human. Then to a werewolf.
There's a lot going on
everything.
here. It's got everything. All three types.
All three. It's, like the solid state.
Yeah.
The frozen state.
In the gaseous.
In the gaseous state. Yeah. We forgot liquid entirely.
Frozen's liquid, right?
Frozen is a solid, technically.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, just let it melt a little bit, then it'll be liquid.
Yeah, that's what that means. So then the zombies like kind of corner them into like a circle. Also, how the fuck did they get into that situation? They're walking and then they're perfectly circled. There's no way those zombies got into that circle around them without them noticing.
Well, it's because of the narrator.
Oh,
I blame it on the narrator.
Oh, like fucking the guy from Into the Woods.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, how he's like he even like goes into the show and they're like you're gonna be fed to the giants.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but if Vincent Price popped up, that'd be cool. But then a dance break starts happening. Probably the most iconic part of this music video. When people think about this music video, they think about this scene, like the pump bum, and like the sound effects. For me, I don't know if I love sound effects in music videos, but specifically in Thriller, it works for me. Like the scuffles on the shoes and shit. It just works for me. Like you hearing the breaths or like the cloth.
I think that what helps with that, I noticed that too, is at the beginning when we are like not doing the music, we have a lot of the cloth and the like, just all of that type of stuff going on.
Your cloth sounds very plasticky.
But we have a lot of that going on, and it was almost too noticeable. But then when you get the music going, and it adds this realism and spookiness to the music that I think really helps it.
Yeah, I agree. And then right before he starts singing again, because it's kind of like, it's a part it's like just like a music intermission kind of thing where it's like just kind of loops the dun dun do 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 dun dun. It just loops that while they're dancing, and then it comes back onto the song, and then he turns around and becomes a human again.
Yeah.
And I assume they did that because he probably couldn't sing that well with his makeup on.
I mean, he wasn't actually singing.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the makeup would move too much, and like,
it wouldn't look realistic to be.
Yeah,
like if he's just dancing, he can do that because he can keep the same straight face.
Yeah,
but when he has to start singing again,
it might have like it would have been annoying to like every take having to fix the makeup and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
because I'm sure it was like prosthetic, like latex over.
Yeah, it was latex, and like him opening and closing his mouth, it wouldn't open and close to make it look like he was actually singing.
Exactly. So I'm sure it was like that was it was like more of a technical reason than a creative, but I still love it because then his clothes are completely clean and he's like the only thing you can see basically.
He's this like bright red, ferocious, like,
yeah,
it's there and it's blatant against this like
dark
gray, black, blue.
He's the only
smorgasbord of color.
The production design is fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's just in the middle dancing, and it's like a triangle sort of. So it's like even like the focal point is just always on him.
All eyes are on him.
Yeah, and doing all the dance moves and stuff. It's just so good.
There's not anything in this when I'm watching it. I'm like, everything in there is in there for a reason and a purpose, and everything was done for a reason and a purpose.
I agree. It's fantastic music video. Then after the song he was singing, the girl sort of runs away in terror and hides into a abandoned house.
Yeah.
And then the zombies start, then the music kind of cuts off entirely, and then like actual scary music pops up. So it's almost like a movie.
Yeah.
And they start breaking through the walls, and they start
and crashing. The floorboards too. Yeah, they're like coming out of everywhere.
And just as she's about to get killed by the zombies, it cuts, and the house is like perfectly clean.
It's like, oh, it's him.
And he goes, "What's the problem? What's the problem?"
You have such a great Michael Jackson impression. That was great. I heard that in my headphones. I was like, what?
Did I just play it?
Yeah.
Were you guys watching the music video right now? No, but it's funny because, it's just, it's like a silly, it's cheesy, but I love it. And he then like kind of
How dare you? It is not cheesy.
It is cheesy.
It is cheesy.
It's cheesy, but in a fun way.
Yeah.
It's a good cheese. And she it's like, oh, come on, let's go home. And like, and then holds her.
And then he turns around and he has his werewolf eyes again.
Yeah, which was the only part that confused me. Because it wasn't zombie. Like, he wasn't a zombie when he turned around. It was the eyes that he wore.
So were they in the movie still, maybe?
The music started, like, the fake music started to play.
Yeah.
So it could have been, like, I don't know. I honestly can't decide.
It's up to interpretation.
I like it because it's scary.
There's no, you don't feel good afterwards.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, she's about to die.
There was no happy ending. Exactly. Like
there was no ending, really, though. Once you think about it.
He looks it out, and then Vincent Price, like, it freeze frames on him, like, with his eyes.
Kind of zooms in, too.
It zooms in, and Vincent Price, like, goes, ha, 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 ha. I can't do a Vincent Price. Sound like the fucking penguin. But,
yeah, that's the...
From Batman.
Yeah. Danny DeVito.
Yeah. No, Colin Farrell.
We should do a combination Halloween costume of both Danny DeVito's Penguin and Colin Farrell's.
I'm Colin because my name's Colin.
Yeah, I'll be Danny DeVito.
Because your name's Danny.
Well, I've always wanted to be Danny DeVito.
If you were Danny DeVito, honestly, this podcast would have a lot more views.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Well, maybe we should do
We should ask him if he can be on the podcast.
Yeah, we should ask him if he can come on. I know him personally. So.
Yeah, his email is just Danny DeVito. Danny.DeVito
at mac.com.
At Mac.
Someone's gonna it might actually be, we don't know.
We can't say for sure.
But you should try it.
Yeah, so this music video, one of the best ever made, but we have a little story to tell about this music video. It's very close to us because one of our friends named Hunter Grisseau,
we've talked about him before on the podcast.
He's terrified of werewolves, and we also have said that about the podcast, but we haven't told the story of how we figured out he was terrified of werewolves. So
he blatantly told us.
Yeah, like he said, I'm scared of werewolves.
Yeah, he was like, I'm scared of werewolves. And we were like, well, like, wait, what type of, we were like the Twilight kind, or like, there's a lot of different type of like werewolves out there.
Yeah, are you afraid of Jacob, or are you afraid of like the makeup,
Yeah. And he was like specifically Michael Jackson in the werewolf in the werewolf costume in the music video. And I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah, because it's like It's scary, but I wouldn't say it's like that scary.
Yeah, I mean, I understand like as like a 5 or 6 year old when I was like
Yeah.
younger, I probably would have been scared when I saw that.
Yeah.
But I just didn't believe him. And I don't know, were you there that night?
I was actually in the bathroom.
Oh, okay. So me and one of our other friends, Christian, were like, we're going to play the music video.
We're in the dining hall, weren't we?
We were in Shively. Rest
Yeah.
in peace, Shively.
Rest in peace, Shively. Shively Dining Hall, the place I worked at in college.
Yeah, we were in Shively, and there was like a good like 15 of us, I would say. 15 of us sitting there. We used to get like family dinners all the time.
Yeah.
And you can go there and eat as much food as you want, so it was like the perfect place to go.
Yeah.
And so we just decided not to tell them, but we were like, we're just going to pull up the music video. And so we pulled it up and just put it on, and we like fast forwarded to the part where the werewolf was at the end, where he turns around and he's giving that face.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like, oh, like it's like, we like fast forwarded to that part, but like, you know, like 30 seconds before, so he knew it was coming.
Sorry. You just went, ho, 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 ho.
Well, that's what it was, you know, the fucking laugh.
Ho, 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 ho.
But we fast forward to a little bit before that part, and like I swear it was like a deer in headlights, because it was like a good 45 seconds at least, and so Hunter had enough time to like look away or walk away, but he did not look away. He was like awestruck and like just like could not turn away from the phone screen.
Sure.
And he's going and he's watching it. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's facing his fears. And then, because that was the whole point of like our relationship with Hunter, was we were talking him through things, and like,
because he had a lot of coddled nature to him, like his entire life. You know, he didn't really experience the world much.
He had a lot of first times with us.
Yeah.
Like getting kidnapped.
Getting kidnapped. First shot of alcohol. Now,
not of alcohol, of beer.
Well, alcohol is beer. Beer is alcohol.
Yeah, but you don't take a shot of beer. You take a shot of alcohol. He didn't want to take a shot of alcohol.
So we gave him a shot of beer.
His parents are going to listen to us and we're going to get in trouble.
I don't think his parents would.
No, they're not.
he was 21.
Yeah. He was. But he made it all the way to the end, and the laugh happens at the end, and the freeze frame on Michael Jackson's face, and it ends, and then we look over, and he's like, I gotta go to the restroom, and he fucking runs into the restroom, and I thought he was joking. And so for a good...
Because what is that? Like, what's the reaction to that? Like, oh shit, I gotta poop. I pooped my pants.
I was like, what's going... I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta go to the restroom. And he runs to the restroom, and he was in there for a good 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I feel bad for whatever's happening. Like, I want to make sure he's okay. So me and Christian walk in there, and we just hear...
He's vomiting.
Yeah.
He's vomiting.
Just fucking vomiting.
Over fucking Michael Jackson werewolf.
It was like... Which I can't blame him for. Because I have another story that's related to this. But like... So obviously it was a defense mechanism.
Sure.
And just the fact that like that, I don't know. I feel bad still to this day, like making him go through that, but I wouldn't change a thing.
I feel like he could have looked away.
Yeah, he could have looked away, but like if he's that scared, maybe he's like hypnotized. I don't know.
Hypnotized by the YouTubes.
But I didn't think, a lot of people were like, oh, that's crazy that like that would happen. I'm like, no. Because I have another story about puking that is a defense mechanism. So for him, he got scared, and his first thing was just to be like, you know what I mean? When I was in high school, my best friend Casey, her and I weren't really friends we were friends, but we weren't close. We were all at a bonfire together at a friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
And she was with someone at the time. And all I remember is like, she's on the other side of the bonfire, so I can't really see what's going on. But I can make out figures. And all I remember is seeing her get up and as hard as she can just smack the guy. And I mean, she can hit hard. I've seen it. Like she
Yeah.
like open palm slapped him.
Yeah.
And like he like did one of those like jerk back moments because like yeah, that hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what had happened, and I had a grape soda in my hand, and I just remember I was taking a drink and it happened, and I heard, and literally 2 milliseconds later, I puked. It was
Why?
a guttural reaction.
Because you saw someone get slapped?
I don't know. It was like it was scary in some form.
So was it all purple?
Yeah.
The puke was all purpley?
Well, the thing is I shit you not, 5 minutes later, everything was over. Everyone left. We were like, all right, that's enough for tonight.
Oh, someone got slapped
and
puked
Seth
for
puked.
no reason.
It's not like I was in high school. We weren't like drinking or anything. It was literally a fucking grape Fanta soda.
So that grape Fanta soda was not a Four Loko?
No. Four Loko wasn't even out at the time.
When did Four Loko come
Four
out?
Loko had like, I'm pretty sure it was like a couple years after that.
Okay, well, I actually don't remember when Four Loko came out.
I don't either. Maybe it was a year out. Maybe it was out of that.
I don't fucking know. All I remember is when I started drinking, Four Loko existed.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
So I don't know. I can't tell you the facts.
But I think Hunter was justified in puking, is what I'm saying.
Because, you know, sometimes you can't control a puke.
Yeah, it was literally like the slap happened. It was like it was instant. I don't know what happened. It's like I got hit or something.
Well, it's because, you know, I mean, he would puke because the makeup is just so good, right? It's scary.
Yeah.
Which the makeup was done. I did a fantastic transition right there. The makeup was done by Rick Baker, who also did the American Werewolf in London movie. He did the makeup for a few Star Wars films. He did the makeup for the movie Wolf.
Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2, A Bad Batch. That movie's crazy as fuck. But essentially, he did like the special effects for that. And I think did he do not Mission Impossible, Men in Black?
I don't know.
He might have. I'm not going to say that he did. I'm not super sure. But he did the makeup for it, and you know how he got it was because he did American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
Which was directed by John Landis. And that's how he got to direct the Thriller music video. So if you haven't seen American Werewolf in London, it's one of my favorite movies.
But not top 4.
Not top 4. It was in my top 4 letterbox for a while.
Huh.
And it has that like that really fucking hard to watch scene where he's transforming into a werewolf.
Yeah.
And that's all done by Rick Baker. Fantastic. And you kind of see that in a cheaper version in this movie.
Mm-hmm. But this isn't a cheap version. Like, this isn't cheap by any means. It was $500,000 to produce.
Yeah, $500,000, but still like a cheaper version.
Yeah.
Than, I mean, it's a music video. Like they got to spend the money elsewhere.
Yeah.
But and also probably they didn't have a lot of time to film shit too, I assume. So, you know, they can take like 2 full days of like just shooting transformation wolf scenes, which I assume they did.
Yeah.
And I just really think that his like effects are just fantastic, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, I do like John Landis films, but you know, I said previously that he's kind of got a controversial thing happening, and John Landis
separate the artist from the
art. Yeah. So John Landis, there was a movie called the Twilight Zone movie,
and this is the guy who directed
Thriller and American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
He directed a section. So Twilight movie was just a bunch of little short films put into a movie. One was directed by Steven Spielberg. Another one was directed by another person. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Anthologies in one movie.
Exactly. And he directed a version, a part where like this guy walks in through a door. He's like a super racist and shit like that. And he goes back in time. In each section, he's being racially profiled. Like he's not seen as a white guy. He's seen as the races that he
The
made
minority at
the
that time,
minorities
yeah.
that he was making fun of. Cool concept for a Twilight Zone thing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but. Cool concept for a Twilight Zone thing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But I believe the scenes cut almost all together in the actual part, but they were filming a Vietnam scene where like the Americans were like killing the Viet Cong, and he was, they think he's a Viet Cong and stuff. And while they were filming it, there was a helicopter scene where they had two kids that were in the scene, and I believe the main actor in it. And essentially, John Landis got the kids there by kind of paying them under the table. They didn't do like the right like labor law thing for the kids, because kids aren't really supposed to work past a certain hour.
Right now, it's like I think they can't work past 10:30.
Yeah, and this is probably one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
But they were filming at night, and they were in this helicopter, and you know, John Landis goes, get lower, and then the helicopter kind of loses its kind of thing, and it crashes into the water, crushing the main actor and slicing off the two kids' heads. Awful thing happened. And that's why like there's a lot of safety on sets now, is because of that movie.
Well,
and that was a huge deal. And you know, and it was because of his actions that two people are dead. And I mean, he's blackballed. He can't make anything anymore. But
yeah. I mean, as people who work doing that stuff now.
Yeah. Dying for making a movie is completely ridiculous.
Not only that, but like there are so many things that like you don't realize that you're going through, or that like what you're working on is how dangerous it can be, even if it doesn't have to do with a fucking helicopter landing. Like you sometimes have 100-pound lights that are over your head, and if someone didn't rig that correctly,
Yeah, they didn't put
that's
a safety
coming
chain
down
on
on you,
Exactly.
and that's going to squish you to the ground.
Yeah, well, we just worked on a commercial shoot where we were rigging up lights near a pool, and if like those lights fell
Got
into
wet
the water
at all,
fell into the water, it would have electrocuted the actress.
Yeah.
You know, like that would have been, you know, completely. That would have resulted into death. It's
but that's why
dangerous.
you're trained in the way to do things.
Exactly.
But so many people who don't understand like what it's like to work during that stuff. Like you have to be on guard 24. Like you have to be aware and like awake while you're on that set, because like if you're just like, you know, lackadaisical looking around, like, you know, not really doing much, and like something like that happens and that's your fault, like that's gonna one be horrible, but also make you like, I know if something went wrong on a set like that on my like, and it was my fault, like I don't know if I would be able to like ever try to work again doing something like that.
Well, it's like the whole Rust thing, like
Yeah.
the DP getting shot because the prop master didn't check to see if there was a real round in it. Like,
Well, the thing that fucking pisses me off about that is there are so many times there's the prop master, there's the armorer, there's the first AD, and the actor, which a lot of people don't think that should be a thing. Like, but I feel like as a person holding the gun, you get that training before you step on that set. Always, 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 all four of those people should be checking that gun constantly.
Well, and as a VFX person, it is way more cheaper, practical, and just like faster to do digitally anyway, especially if you're like right next to the camera, shooting into the camera. I wouldn't even fucking risk it. Maybe like have real rounds when you're doing wides and stuff. But like if you're shooting right next to like pointing right at the camera,
near 10 feet away, yeah.
You're super close. I wouldn't have risked it. I would have just made it a visual effect, because one, visual effects, especially if you hire the right house to do it, it's not that hard to do. Like it's like a 30-minute effect.
Yeah. So overall, we're saying be safe.
Yes.
The stuff that happens on these sets can be crazy, and it's a lot of fun, but it's scary.
Yeah.
Which goes right into the Halloween theme.
The scariest part about this is that the singer Michael Jackson also has his allegations with like, you know what I mean? And also John Landis being like almost a murderer.
Well, I thought the scariest thing about this was that the zombies were real.
They're all people who died on set.
Yeah. Oh God.
No, that was dark. But
that was pretty fucking. That was ruthless.
But basically, you know, it's interesting because you kind of have to like, because this is a beloved music video, but you have to talk about these things. But like, I really love American Werewolf in London. It's one of my favorite movies. But also, it's hard to like go like, well, that thing isn't good now. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I get what you're saying, because for me, it's the same thing with someone like Michael Jackson with the allegations against him.
Mm-hmm.
That's someone who is literally one of the, like, king of pop. You know what I mean? Like, quintessential. You think of music, you think of Michael Jackson. One of the first people you think about is him.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you think about him, one of the first things you think about is his allegations now.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that, like, it is super, super difficult to separate the artist from the art, but we can still, I personally can still look at Thrill and be like, wow, this is a funky ass song.
Yeah.
This is fucking badass.
Yeah.
It is has such good production. You got fucking Quincy Jones producing it.
Oh yeah.
Like, you have
Rashida Jones's father.
Yeah. We love Rashida Jones in this household.
Yes, we do. We stan Rashida Jones.
But yeah, like, it's hard to not. I'm always going to have that in the back of my mind of like, well, fuck, things have changed now. Like,
yeah,
things have been talked about, things have been spoken about, and
you can't really push it aside.
Yeah, and you shouldn't.
No, but I feel like there is room to still enjoy the thing, but making sure you're aware of what you're listening to in the context.
Exactly.
But what was interesting was that John Landis, the director, he said that directing Michael Jackson was like directing a gifted 10-year-old.
That's fitting. That's fitting.
He said that I believe he said, he was so troubled, like he was being so abused, but he was like so happy to be there.
Yeah.
And it was such an interesting thing, because that's kind of how Michael Jackson was, and kind of why he turned out the way he did. I mean, that's not excusing any of the things he may or may not have done, but
it would be sad to see that for sure.
Yeah,
and I could see what John is saying in that moment.
Yeah, it's because you're famous at a really young age. Yeah, it kind of fucks with you, especially with his dad.
I think that him being famous and doing so well at such a young age definitely helped propel him to be who he was in the end, as in like the music that he made in particular. As a little bit of a transition more into the music side of things.
Sure.
He was able to pioneer this, what I would consider to be modern pop.
Oh, yeah.
He pioneered everything that we hear now today.
Pretty much, yeah.
If it wasn't for him and Quincy, we wouldn't have gotten any of the hits that we got today.
Yeah. I mean, he's the king of the pop. Still, I would even say. Yeah,
no one's dethroning him from that ever.
No. Maybe Lord.
Lord's gonna be the king of pop.
I mean the queen of pop, I guess, but
no. It's like that episode, the whole season of South Park, where the dad is actually Lord.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's literally one of the dads in South Park for a whole season, like, travels across the country as Lord. And like they just say, like, in the South Park universe, Lord is the dad and the dad is Lord. Just like there's the teacher that transitions from
it becomes Trump?
man to woman.
Oh,
but and then becomes Trump.
Yeah,
and Trump is that character, and that character is Trump. So,
honestly, like, I tried to rewatch watch like the new thing on, like, it was on HBO Max or
the
Paramount
COVID
Plus.
special or whatever.
No, like, even like the newer stuff that like they're because they're releasing like long movies now.
Yeah.
They're not releasing episodes.
Yeah.
And I like try to like watch them, and I'm like, I haven't really caught up with them at all, and I have no idea what the lore is, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking
Like,
shit.
I was like,
going
what what is happening? So I just gave up.
But the music overall, it's just so funky, so I want to say
Fresh.
like fresh, but like for its time, I heard things in there that I was like, whoa, like you didn't hear that much then. And then like with that, it was able to be so catchy and smooth, like how it was so nonchalant for Michael Jackson to perform the music that he did.
Yeah.
And like he did it like it was absolutely nothing, which is insane. Like he was such a good performer, such a good musician. And then his band that backed him up too is like one of they themselves don't get enough recognition, and I think they need to be talked about more because without the music, the instrumentation, Michael Jackson wouldn't be Michael Jackson.
For sure.
This was the first video. Well, during the first MTV Music Awards, this won 3 awards. I believe it was Best Choreography, Viewer's Choice, and like Best like overall or something like that. Best overall music video. And it's just weird to think about that was the first time this music video was the first video that got like those awards. Like that's the first time they made these awards, and nothing will be able to top that.
No.
So it's like you would think that would go up from there. It's like, no, actually, like this was the pinnacle and is the first one. It's insane.
It's so cool. It's just a good freaking music video.
It's so
Overall, just so good. So I mean,
what you want to get into the ratings?
We can just do it. I think we've talked about everything.
You want to do it?
Want to do it? I think we've talked about everything we needed to talk about.
Yeah.
All of our little tidbits and fun facts.
Since I was already talking about the music, I can segue into the rating for the music.
Sure.
4.5 out of 5, without a doubt.
Wow. You heard it here, folks. Email us at PK.
Fuck you if you say anything different.
Okay, so 4.5 out of 5. Give me your reasoning.
The reasoning is because of everything that I said before. You had some of the most talented people in the world working on this. You had some of the best producers. You had one of the best artists. You had just the pinnacle of pop for all of this.
Yeah.
So, like, to give it anything less than that, I think would be fucked up.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give it a 2. We're rating the song, correct?
Yes.
The song,
Yeah.
5 out of 5.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Fuck it, I like it.
Yeah.
Fucking love it, man. A good song. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's catchy. Like re-listening it today, I was like, you just
We were
wanna
dancing. Yeah.
You want to shake your fucking ass to it.
Yeah.
You know, you wanna take your. I actually recently found out that my my really young nephew listens to the podcast, so I need to stop saying curse words. But I won't.
It's okay. He knows you cuss.
Yeah. Uncle Coco, you curse.
Well, what's gonna be funny is he's gonna start cussing. He's like, Collin says it.
He fucking says it. I'm not gonna fucking care. So 5 out of 5 because I like it.
Okay.
You know, I don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like it. I just do.
It's enjoyable. Period.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's silly. I listen to it every Halloween, and it makes me
joy.
Happy.
Yeah.
It brings me happy.
It brings you happy.
It brings me happy, right? So just let me be goddamn happy, because like we don't have a lot of things to be happy about today.
Okay.
Mommy left.
Okay. Goodness fucking gracious. Okay.
Sorry.
Video.
Yeah.
Rating. Go.
Me?
Yeah.
Go 5. No. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
And the reasoning behind that, the half star missing, is that it is long.
Yeah.
Like when I was like, sometimes you want to just listen to the music, and I'm curious to hear your review because you're probably going to be a little more critical of it. But like that length does like it's a short film, but once you like figure out that this is a short film, you might be like, okay,
Yeah.
like it's better to like it's not just a music video, it's the whole package.
Yeah.
But like it's long, it's 13 minutes long. That's 10 minutes longer than the average music video.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I would say I completely agree. But because of that, I'm being a little bit more critical when it comes to like everything else put together with it too. I give it a 4 out of 5 instead of a 4.5.
okay.
And that's just because the length of it is a lot. And me and you talked about it earlier. What the fuck happened? What's the ending?
Yeah, what is that?
Like, is he the werewolf?
Is he the werewolf from the movie?
Yeah.
Is he a zombie? If so, why is that clear? It seems like you just did it for no reason.
And for me, I'm fine with things not having a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to music videos in particular.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this, I feel like we got all this way and there was no payoff. And I was like, okay, so she's still gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
Like,
but I'm just I have to commend that the lighting of it is just so contrasty and beautiful.
yeah,
like
the
it
production value is great.
The production design, the
No
costumes. Nobody died to our knowledge from making it except for Michael Jackson, but that was way later.
Yeah.
And I think the acting is cheesy. It's cheese. And I love cheese. Like we need
Swiss, Gouda, Munster.
I fuck it, Munster cheese.
You've never had Munster cheese?
No, I've watched the Munsters.
No, I have some back at my place. I'll bring you a slice.
Okay, pause. Bring it back, and I'll do like a live review.
Munster's really good. I promise you.
Munster cheese. I just know of the Munsters.
You should watch the new Munster movie, Rob Zombie, on Netflix.
Is it good?
It's so cheesy and campy. It's amazing.
Oh, is it funny though?
You're talking about cheese?
Okay, is it good though?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay,
fucking cheese.
That trailer looks fucking awful.
It's B movie 80s.
Okay, I was like watch the trailer and it looked like some guy got a Canon 5D.
That's the point. That's the fucking point.
Oh, it's the point of it?
Like when you watch it, you're gonna be like, oh, it's so fucking bad. It's good. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I thought he just didn't know how to make a movie.
No, Rob Zombie makes some of the best fucking horror films ever.
Okay.
But
I've only watched Halloween, Rob Zombie.
But he takes this when he has his own creative control is when he does the best. So like Salem, he does. It's called Salem something. Great fucking film. But with this one, he has his. He still had creative control. I could tell that there was a little bit of pushback here and there.
It looks like he filmed it in his own house.
Yeah, but that's the point. It's supposed to be that 80s B horror that's super funny and cheesy and goofy. And like you're gonna love it. I promise you. Like we'll watch it together.
Okay.
Like I want to watch it again. That's how dumb and stupid, but like
okay.
lighthearted.
Okay, well maybe we'll watch it and see because like the trailer did not have me convinced.
Yeah, the trailer doesn't do a good job, but I promise you, like
I thought it was just poor filmmaking.
No. You're gonna watch it, be like, I see exactly what they're pulling from. And,
okay.
Like, what he's doing.
Okay. Then good.
It's definitely it's not the same of everything that he's ever made before.
Yeah.
That's like very gruesome and grotesque. This is just lighthearted fun.
Yeah.
Something that I think is needed right now, and he did an amazing job with it.
That's the thing, like lighthearted and fun. Like we don't really get. And I was talking about this with Aaron because we just watched the movie White Chicks, and we watched it, and I was like, you know, people like the movie fucking sucks, but it's funny, but like. Obviously, like they don't look like white chicks at all. They don't look like who they're supposed to be. It almost looks really scary.
Yeah,
it's actually that'd be a perfect horror movie to watch for the October. But nobody really makes movies like that anymore. Like just cheesy like movies, you know, that are because everyone's too concerned about like, oh, this needs to look like a fucking movie. It needs to feel like
it's
a movie.
It's got to feel like a movie.
And where like they like even comedies now, it has to have a scene where you're crying your eyes out and shit like that. And you're like, fuck, can I just Do you just do one comedy like movie like Step Brothers these days, where it's just stupid?
One movie that I was pleasantly shocked at that I watched recently. It's like called Do Revenge or something like that. It's on Netflix, and it's a chick flick, really.
Yeah.
But there's a scene with Sophie Turner. I didn't fucking know it was her for the longest time. But she's one of the girls, like, she's playing a mom. Sophie Turner's playing a mom to a high school girl.
Yeah.
And one of the girls, like, plants, like, cocaine on her, and so she gets kicked out of the, like, rich people's club.
Oh, yeah.
And Sophie Turner's like, I don't do cocaine. Like, screaming, like, acting her ass off.
I saw that on TikTok.
That's fucking Sophie. I didn't know at the time that was Sophie Turner.
Oh, that's funny.
But, like, acting her ass off for such a cheesy scene. That's great.
What I find with comedy, what makes cheesy stuff work is when somebody goes fully hard on
Balls to
something
the walls.
so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like Dewey Cox. Like, that movie is fucking ridiculous. But there are scenes acted so well, but they're saying the dumbest fucking lines possible. And it's just funny. You know, like, that's how you, like, whenever you treat something so silly, so seriously, that's how you make good comedy. Mel Brooks knew that. You know, like, fucking John F. Kennedy knew that. I don't know.
So overall, for the end of this episode, we're saying cheese and seriousness is good.
Yeah, because they took
the
cheese seriously.
Yeah.
You know, but they knew it was cheesy. Like, the difference between camp and cheese, you want to eat cheese.
Okay.
The difference between them is essentially, like, awareness.
Yeah.
Being aware of what you're making.
Exactly.
And I need to tell everyone in the audience that be aware of what you're doing and be safe on set, please.
Be safe everywhere, not just on set.
We have
everywhere.
like, this had a theme.
It was
Safety cheese.
Safety cheese.
Always have safety cheese on set.
It's just a little packet of Munster. I always have on me.
And watch Rob Zombie's Monster.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Let's end this episode.
All right.
If you have any recommendation for us, you can contact us at pktvs at pktvs podcast at gmail.com.
Woo! Yeah, you did.
That's a hard one.
And pktvs podcast at all of our socials:
Instagram, Twitter,
Google Plus.
Yeah,
I've made that joke before.
Alexa.
Alexa, is that
she's a social media?
No, she's not.
No.
But if you want to hang out with us, our address is